Drew, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm great. Yeah, I saw this movie a couple months ago, and I'm excited to see it again because I thought it was awesome,
Oh,
man.
thank you very much. I appreciate that.
Of course, congrats. I hope a lot of people are singing its praises for you. I find it really interesting the time this is coming out. Obviously, probably not a coincidence. Like we're living in a time where AI and robotics are really quickly becoming a part of our everyday lives, and sometimes in ways that we don't even notice. So, as the mastermind behind Companion, how much of Companion are you seeing as maybe like a cautionary tale, or even like a glimpse on what's to come, based on if you did any research or anything based on the world we're currently living in?
Yeah, I mean, the research I did, I think this might have been just to protect myself from like just going down the rabbit hole of doom of like where we could end up. I just wanted to do the limited amount of research just to know if this technology is going to exist and when it could exist. And then my job as a writer, I didn't want to bog it down with tech details. Like I love the movie Ex Machina. I really do love it, but that's like from the point of view of an engineer. So they're having all these deep discussions about Turing tests and it's a very inside baseball movie. I wanted to exist in a world that it's not people that work in tech. It's just you and I. It's like we're just, like living in a world where our phones look like human beings. And what could that actually be like? And how would that affect like how you interact, not just with your robot, but how would that affect like your relationship with other human beings if the line is blurred between what a robot looks like and what a human looks like? Like, yeah, it would affect all of your, interpersonal relationships.
Yeah, I appreciate that you did that because like I feel like movies like Eternal Sunshine, like they have this interesting sci-fi concept, but they don't really define themselves. Like Companion doesn't define itself the same way by ex over explaining the sci-fi element of it. Here, I dig that, man. Good, great work. Well, you did have some cool details about this concept in there, like the app that controls the personalities, the intelligence, the different characteristics of a companion. The people are essentially directing their companions. So if there were an app for directing actors, what would the options on the control panel look like?
Uh, don't complain. Have a good time, and yeah, that's it. Because I mean, like I don't I want to kind of demystify the part of like the point of a director, which is like sometimes we like think of them as like authoritative like dictators that are like do it this way, this is the way it is in my head, like the Alfred Hitchcock, like this is already made in my head, and my job now is just make it as close to what it's in my head as possible. I mean, you're taking a lot of the fun out of the filmmaking process, which is the collaborative nature of it. Like it shouldn't be a direction, it should be a conversation, and you can get great ideas from everyone. It can be from like a PA down to like the craft service person. Like best idea wins out in my opinion,
Yeah.
because like there's like a limitation to me and like what I'm like where I'm coming from, that like I don't want any decision to be made out of ego. I want it to be like what, as long as it's filtered through story, like how do we make this story as good as possible. So yeah, like I'm like, as far as directing the actors, I think of it as like you're creating guardrails, and you're like, this is too far, this is too far, and then within this boundary is like the area that you can have fun. And
Yeah.
my job is just to make sure that they don't drift off and embarrass themselves or do something that like maybe is kind of off character. And yeah.
Yeah, and that's a human touch too that AI and robots won't be able to replicate in art. You think maybe you'll get to do it again? Will we see like Iris or any of these characters from Companion in another movie down the line? Is that something would be interesting?
I don't know. Like, I mean, like, we're in a world that's obsessed with sequels, and that's, last year, the top 10 movies were all sequels. And so, I mean, I'm sure that like, that's at the top of everyone's head, and like the studio. I've told my story. Like, this is like, I like a small, self contained story. So, Iris's journey is like, to me, is like, that's told. And so I'd be happy to hand it over to someone else, just be like, okay, like, like, now what would you do with Iris? Because if I had my druthers, she would just be retired on a farm watching the sunset. That's it.
Hey man, it's an awesome story, and that's like the question I have to ask, like you said, because it's everybody's always obsessed with sequels and stuff. So now, Drew, you crushed it, man. Thank you so much for
Thank
the
you.
time. Congrats on an awesome movie. Hope to talk to you again sometime.
Appreciate it. Thank you.